That's heaven right there. So I just hope everybody's doing well. Just wanted you to know, most of the time we're drinking the Swiss Water Processed Decaf, mainly because Trey likes to drink a lot of coffee, and our wonderful Dr. Amy Dirksen in Seattle, Washington, she says only 1 cup of coffee for Trey a day. So in order for him to get his coffee fix, we give him that. But I keep this hidden, so don't tell Trey. This is the leaded version of it. So yeah, every once in a while I need a little bit of caffeine. I'm gonna go hide this in case he walks out here. That way if he watches my video, he doesn't know where I put it. I'll probably figure it out, but he's pretty smart. I wanted to continue on my 50 things I've learned at 50. It's been an interesting time doing my bathroom. As you can see, some of the videos I've posted, I've made some silly mistakes, and they've cost me a lot of time and frustration, but it's all part of the learning process. And it's nice that I can just come out in my garage, which right now is a disaster. It seems like whenever I do a project, I get my garage organized. I've been doing, for the last 3 years, I've been working on this house. And the garage is really kind of the last project. It's always, I go through stages where I'll get it cleaned up, I'll get it organized, I'll make some, racks. I've done some things around here, built some stuff, built some shelves. It's kind of on the back burner, and it tends to just get trashed when I'm doing another project. So anyway, this is me. This is that raw version of Brian that it's the authentic who I am, and I look forward to, I have super awesome LED lights to put in here, and my dream is to have it like a little, just a little workshop. I can't wait to, I was doing, some of you know, I was teaching a class at the kids' school. It was called Life Shop, and it was a lot of fun. It wasn't what I had kind of dreamed for it, but so it kind of fizzled out at the Mangrove School for sure, and then we started with another group called Spark ALC up in Bradenton, and that was a lot more fun because I was able to kind of do what I wanted to do. And now with the whole COVID things are kind of changed. So anyway, my point is, I'm looking forward to getting my bathroom done, and then I've got some lights going into the kitchen, some fans with light, ceiling fans that I'm going to put in the kitchen, and then hopefully I can get my garage dialed in before I start working on the Sprinter again and get that ready for another road trip. I'm going to get back to my list. 50 on 50. It's taken me quite a while. I think last time we ended up at 25, and this would be going forward. We'll try to get through a few of these this morning. Cheers. And if you don't have coffee and you want to sit and watch, it's always good to grab a cup of coffee. It's really good stuff. It's it's good coffee when you don't have to put cream or sugar in it. And I do like a little half and half in my coffee on occasion. My favorite drink, thanks to my buddy Kevin Klein, is a flat white. He went to New Zealand, and he comes back and he's like, dude, you gotta have a flat white. you gotta have flat white. I'm like, what are you talking about? Never heard of it. And anyway, that's my new favorite drink is the flat white. Thanks to my buddy Kevin. Cheers, Kevin. Love you, man. Okay, so number 26. Make sure you're in tune with yourself before doing anything. Oh, that's a big one. For me, finally getting in tune with who I am, like understanding that a lot of my philosophy on life. I'll get into that probably on another video, but I really think that we all have, we're all eternal beings. That's what I believe. I believe that we're all eternal. We're not a temporary thing. Our bodies are, but who we are is eternal. And that part of us is connected to all that is. I mean, that's I believe. And if you can just, like, that's what I'm learning, is that when I'm out of sorts, which is a lot, and that's another whole other series of video going through my biochemistry and healing, all that, but it's important to just line up with who you really are. Sometimes, and the way you do that is I've learned, for me, is to pay attention to how I feel. A lot of what I understand now comes from teachings from Abraham Hicks. I don't know if many of you probably never heard of this, but there's a lady named Esther Hicks, and she, if you ever seen the movie The Secret or heard about the book The Law of Attraction, that's where a lot of this stuff comes from, and it's basically just the consciousness of all things that we are all a part of. And to be able to just get in alignment with your soul or your spirit or who you are, or whatever you want to call it, to get the power that you need from God or source or all that is, or people call it all kinds of things. It can get really, really difficult when you use the term God, because we've put such a stigma on that and throughout humanity. My point is lining up with who you really are, with who I really am, before I do anything, whether it's a project or a video or this or making coffee or whatever. I like to just tune into who I am, because it makes everything a lot more doable. I guess that's the best thing. Like, I'm finally listening to who I really am. I'll know just by how I feel. Like, I'll pick up the phone and want to call somebody, and then something in me will just be like, don't do that, or that's probably not the best thing to do. And I used to just do it anyway, and then I would call someone and talk to them and be like, why did I do that? That was a really horrible conversation, and just negative and talking about just stuff that it was like, man, I didn't even want to go down that road. And the funny thing is, like, I had a warning sign before I did it. And sometimes I'm not the brightest bulb in the box, and I'll just do it anyway. And I'm learning, and it's really exciting. And Jennifer and I had this conversation the other day, and she just laughed at me because I told her, I was like, I'm finally starting to listen to myself, and like, wow, I really, and she just laughed at me. She's just like, yeah, you're kind of supposed to, like, duh, but that's the relationship we have. And but number 26, it's a big one. Make sure you're in tune with yourself before doing anything. And it's a tough lesson to learn, because I think in our ego, if you will, people like bag on egos and whatever, everybody's got their own ideas, but I think that's one thing that's really true. We have a tendency to just be stubborn. I'm super stubborn at times, and I want to be stubborn in a good way, in a healthy way. And so this has been helping me a lot. It goes along the lines with a lot of the stuff about racing that I'm going to do a whole another video on that, and kind of explain some of that stuff to help me find clarity on it too. So, but anyway, make sure you're in tune with yourself before doing anything. And speaking of tune, number 27, play music. That's one of the things that helps me to get out of my head, because I have so many thoughts that come into play, and whether you believe it or not, our thoughts turn into things, and that's because the way we think in turn has a real strong impact on how we feel. And that's how in my life, I mean, when I say we, I mean really me. I'm speaking for myself, and I don't want anyone to take these videos like I'm preaching at you or anything, because I used to be a preacher, and that when I thought I knew everything there was to know about what was right and what was wrong. And but our thoughts are very powerful. They turn into feelings, and that's the most powerful thing that we have, because it's energy. And when you look at the science of that, quantum physics, the law of attraction, like energy attracts like energy, and how you feel is a direct correlation. How I feel is a direct correlation of what I create in my experience. And I know that one of the things that helps me a lot to tune out a lot of the chatter in my head is to play music. And that's going back to the whole YouTube Premium thing. It's so nice to have YouTube Music, where I can just, any song that I remember from high school or whatever, something that feels good, man, I just put it on I have a playlist that's called Feel Good Music, and from trop rock, Howard Livingston, to Jimmy Buffett, to you name it, to freaking Motley Crue, all the crazy songs from the 80s, like all that stuff, Tesla, all those bands, Y&T. It just puts me in a place of I don't know, music's just amazing, and it really, that harmony, that tune of who I am, music has been a huge part of it. And lately I've been playing my guitar a lot, and just really getting in tune with that has been awesome. Number 28, I stole this one from Matthew McConaughey. He and dude, Matthew, if you ever saw this video, class of 88, right on, bro. He graduated in 88 just like I did, and a lot of my friends that will probably see this. But one of the things he said, it was some commencement thing. I watched some motivational video or something, and he said, life is not easy. And that's I'll probably end this video on that one. That's only number 28. Actually, we'll go to 30. Life is not easy. It's not. And if it was, it really wouldn't be very interesting. If we could just go through life and coast through life and everything was freaking, peaches and rainbows, it wouldn't create any contrast of what sucks and what doesn't or whatever. I think that's the thing, is like just being at peace with the fact that life is not easy. And every one of us has our own experience and our own way of coping with that, or dealing with it, or not coping, or whatever. It's not easy, and it was never meant to be. That's that's really the big joke, is that we, I thought, oh yeah, if I'm a billionaire, I'll have all this money and everything will be easy, and I have all this stuff and blah blah blah. But the fact of the matter is that, where's the fun in that? Jennifer and I talked about this with like hitting the lottery, for example. Yeah, it'd be great and it'd be awesome to have everything paid off, and who wouldn't want a couple $1 million to play with? But where's the fun in that? Where's the challenge in that, the building in that, the this, the that, and some of you probably want to smack me in the mouth right now for saying this, but we're here to experience life, and that's why we're here, is to experience this stuff. And if it's like, anyway, it's not easy, and if you're having a hard time, if you're like me, I was suicidal for a long time, I was very depressed, and in my darkest times, it hurt. It hurt bad, and it's just, it comes to the understanding that it's okay, that life is not easy. It's not supposed to be easy. That's why we came here. That's why we're here. is to figure this stuff out and to enjoy it and to live every moment, you know. So life's not easy. Thanks, Matt. That was awesome. And number 29, better to trust your guts than the better to trust your gut than the experts. Oh man, I could go into that one for days, but it kind of goes back to, you know, listening to who I really am. And number 30, back onto music. Eddie ate dynamite. Goodbye, Eddie. If you don't know, what that means, or you've never heard that before, it's probably because you don't play a guitar. But that's okay. That's a lesson I've learned. Eddie ate dynamite. Goodbye, Eddie. And that is all the strings on a 6-string guitar. To really get the most out of playing a guitar, I found that knowing what strings play what notes is very important. And the easiest, it's, what do they call those acronyms or whatever? Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye Eddie. So it's EADGBE. So if you look at a guitar, looking at it from the top down, the big fat string is the low E. And then you've got the A, the D, the G, the B, and then the high E. That's the way you remember that. And that's standard tuning. There's all kinds of, you know, there's way different ways you can tune a guitar, but standard tuning, if you ever hear that, that's how that works. And the guitar is just a fascinating instrument. I love it. I've always loved the guitar, and just recently started getting serious about playing and learning. And oh my God, it's so cool. I have 2 really popular YouTube guys, Sean Daniel and Ian Stitch, that live right here in Sarasota. Sean Daniel's cool as hell. His video channel is awesome. I met him, talked to him a few times, just a wonderful person. And so it's just really cool. But doing that, really, you know, kind of playing a lot, just enjoying it. I have like 6 guitars. It's awesome. It's so cool. And, you know, it's funny because Jennifer's like, how many is too many, you know? And I'm like, just one more. But it's all good. I love my guitars, and I try to play much as I can when I can and everything. And, you know, I always wanted to be a rock star. And now I am. I got my own YouTube channel. So I think I'm up to like 4 subscribers now, so I'm super pumped about that. But yeah, I was looking on that this morning, learning a lot about it, and you know, like, it's so funny, like the monetization and all that. Like, you need like 1,000 subscribers or something even to be considered to make money. So this is not about money. This is about me. And thank you for listening to me babble. But anyway, I love you. We'll get back to this. So we made it to 30. Eddie ate dynamite. Goodbye, Eddie. Remember that. And we'll keep going. So cheers. Enjoy. I'm going to get back on my bathroom. Later.